Hello everyone, this is Nagesh and Prabhat, and in this video we are going to talk about one critical aspect of the framework which is called definition of done. So Nagesh, just help us understand what is this definition of done? What does it mean when we say it is done?
Definition of done. Definition of done is a formal description of the state of the increment. It also mirrors quality within the Scrum team. The moment a product backlog item meets the definition of done, an increment is born, says the Scrum guide. It is a shared understanding of expectations the product need to satisfy so that it is usable and valuable.
Fantastic, which means it's a very critical aspect because unless a product backlog item meets this, an increment cannot be born. Does it mean that this serves as a commitment?
Yes, definition of done is a commitment for the increment. Definition of done, that means that any product backlog item which doesn't meet the definition of done criteria, that means it has some undone work that can never be part of the increment.
Okay.
That is also professionalism in Scrum.
Absolutely. Very insightful, Nagesh. Can you just help us understand how does this definition of done create transparency?
Definition of done serves transparency within the Scrum team because everything that is needed for the product, which will say that, which meets the quality criteria, which includes two aspects of it, the product qualities and the development standards. To give an example, the product which we are building should meet the respective SLEs. It has to have certain uptime, it has to be agreeable to certain norms, certain standards. All these things will be part of our product qualities. And development standards are things like it has to be coded, it has to be tested. For example, various levels of testing like unit testing, functional testing, verification, validation, certification tests. And then once all of these quality goals are met, then only you can say our product backlog item is complete or ready for release.
Fantastic. Which means, just in order to summarize, our definition of done is a shared understanding of expectations in order to release the product increment into production.
One thing which I would like to add is who creates definition of done, because often it is a big question. So the definition of done for an increment is part of the organizational standard of the organization, which means that it is often provided as a convention of or standard by the organization. In case if it is not an organizational standard, then the Scrum team must create a definition of done appropriate for the product.
That was very insightful as a last part of this definition of done. So thank you, everyone, and we'll catch up in the next video.
Thank you so much, Prabhat.